Hey guys, welcome to Rusty Fireworks. So, on today's episode, I actually wasn't planning on posting a video today, but after all the response I got on the go-kart build, I feel like we needed to talk a little bit. Let's drop the intro and let's get into the conversation of what's going to happen next. Welcome to Rusty Fireworks. So, many of you guys, probably all my new subscribers, by the way, thank you guys so much for subscribing to this channel. I just started it a year ago. Oh, hold on. Why am I still wearing this thing? I just started a year ago, and I'm getting the hang of things, recording stuff, purchasing new equipment so I can be able to record, give you guys better view, give you guys better angles of everything that I'm doing and stuff. I got mics and stuff. I got these mics. I got boom mics and stuff so you guys can hear better. Where I live in the high desert in California, there's a lot of wind, and it's just it's a little bit harder to be able to record outside. Because that's the only place I can record. Whenever I'm working on a project or something, I can only record outside. Now I really want to address all the comments and everything. The build that I did, by the way, this go-kart, I had already taken it to a shop. I didn't have the time to fix it. I wanted the go-kart to be ready for Easter weekend. I knew my nephews were going to come over. I knew my kids wanted to drive it around. And we have a quad there that it runs and drives and everything. So I knew the kids were going to use the quad, and they were going to want to use the go-kart as well. So I wanted to have both of those driving and going and stuff. And so the build, like I said, I already had it at a shop. They put a new CVT clutch in there. They fixed it supposedly, and it kept shredding belts. Coming towards that Easter weekend, it was still shredding belts like nothing. And by the time that I said, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna take the CVT off and put a centrifugal clutch on it, I was already at my wit's end about it. And I understand the CVT clutch is better for the dirt. It's better for the torque. It gives it the instant torque when it needs it. I understand that. Centrifugal clutch. I've driven around go-kart tracks, when I was a kid, and I remember there's this go-kart track. It used to be called Scandia back in the day, and whenever you hit this little uphill, the go-kart would actually slow down, and then in the downhill it'd take off again, and in the flats it would just keep driving normal. So I know a centrifugal clutch is not the best option for the type of riding that I wanted my kids to be able to do, which is, like I said, out there in the dirt, little mountains, little hills, not that big though. And so I wanted the CVT clutch to get fixed, but like I said, the shop I spent all this money, still didn't get fixed. So I said, screw it, Amazon sent me a centrifugal clutch. And by the way, the reason I went to a centrifugal clutch as well, that engine, the Predator engine, the 212, it was already on its last leg. I already knew that engine was going to get scrapped, that engine was going to be done, right? I just wanted the kids to be able to have fun for the last couple of days that the engine had on it. So I ordered a centrifugal clutch from Amazon because it is cheaper. It's like $30 for the whole kit. I have a whole bunch of scrap metal that I can use to weld the back of the go-kart with, so that doesn't take a lot of time or money. And like I said, I already knew that engine was going to go out, so I was going to replace that whole setup anyway. Centrifugal clutch was just for while the engine was still alive, and I honestly wanted to just throw it on there, let the kids have fun for a couple of days, and especially for Easter weekend, let them run around with it. And that's what we did. After Easter, right as soon as it was like dawn already. I'm not dawn, I'm sorry. It was sunset already. Easter weekend was finishing up and everything. We were cleaning up the grill. All the kids were trying to go inside already. The kids were still driving around the go-kart. The gas pedal breaks. Pat snaps. Dang it. On the go-kart. So then I put a piece of yarn on the accelerator. I mounted on in a certain way where the kids could just pull it, and they were driving around. It actually got stuck on the open position, burnt out the motor. So the motor is like smoking. It's smoking. Like I had to add a quart of oil the next day. That's how bad it was smoking. And those engines only take like a quart of oil, anyways. So the engine's done. The next upgrade we're either thinking a 313, which is the size up from the 212, um, with the CVT clutch on it. Of course, we're gonna go back to the CVT clutch. This time I'll fabricate it. I'll make something that will work for the kids. Either that, or I do have a Yamaha XJ 450, four-cylinder. It's a direct drive, so I would need to get find me a differential from a golf cart and kind of modify it so that engine will actually fit on there. Uh, so we got a couple of plans for that. I did also recently, I bought a drift trike. It has those plastic tires on the back and it's basically for drifting. But if you guys seen any of my videos and if you guys seen the go-kart video, there's not a lot of concrete where I live. It's a lot of dirt. Um, and then I do have a Honda trike. It's an 80s Honda trike. The engine is healthy. I haven't started it for like 2 years, but I know that engine still has power on it because I would take it off-roading all the time. And it's clutchless, so it's not the actual it's not the bigger motor. It's a 125cc, but it's clutchless, so you don't need a clutch to shift up and down. So I was actually thinking of grabbing that engine and putting it and throwing it in the back of that trike. And actually, I started the video already. I haven't started chopping up the trike yet, the Honda trike, but that's the next thing for this weekend. When this video drops, I'm gonna be recording me cutting up that other Honda, the Honda trike, and modifying it so I can fit it in the back of that little drift trike. And so that's coming up in the works. Also, Rustin Fabworks, my whole channel is based on my Mercedes-Benz. I have a 1985 Mercedes-Benz diesel 300D. It's a turbo diesel, five-cylinder inline, and I'm actually modifying it to be four-wheel drive, actual 4x4. Right now, it's sitting on 31-inch tires. It's sitting on a CLK 430 springs, which actually gives it like 2 or 3 inches of height all around, and that's how I was able to fit those 31s. It still doesn't fit as good as it should. The springs are actually kind of tall. So yeah, so there's a lot of things in the pipeline working. I also have a video coming out. I don't know, a lot of you guys that do live in California, if you guys know that the diesel prices went up. The main reason I'm driving my Dodge Ram to work is I used to drive my Mercedes-Benz to work every day, and diesel prices went up. So now the price that I would pay to put diesel in my car is more expensive than the price of gas to put in this big old V8. I'll just take my truck to work. And then my Harley Davidson, it needs tires, the front and the back. And I hadn't ordered them. I just ordered them. They should be at home by the time this video drops. If they are home, I will show them to you guys in this video. So expect a video of me putting tires on my Harley Davidson, getting it running, and a couple of videos of me riding it around. Probably doing a wheelie or one or two. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe a burnout. But yeah, guys, so there's a lot of things down the pipeline. And like I said, the main reason I wanted to get rid of that CVT and throw in that centrifugal clutch was I just wanted the kids to have something to ride around for Easter weekend. Like I said, I do understand the torque is there for CVT. But like I said in the beginning of that video, I hate CVT transmissions. I hate them with a passion. I've worked on so many of them. And then in the beginning of the video, I said these things don't line up. They don't line up when you put a centrifugal clutch. And I understand people are like, oh, put it backwards, put it the other way. Well, if I would have put it the other way, that bolt in the back, it would have pinched the centrifugal clutch. It wouldn't have pinched the inner tube. And it would have been it would have been worthless. The centrifugal clutch would always be on. It'd always be running, and there's no point to that. So, and like I said, I mean, that whole back is getting modified because I'm putting a bigger engine in there. The the 212 is not is it works, but it's not big enough for. I have nephews, okay, that are 10 years old and over 100 pounds. They're like 5 foot. Oh, they're big, big kids. They're not. They're not. Well, yeah, you know what? They are. They are big on sideways, but they're big in height as well, and they love to get on that go kart. So I'm also doing it for them. Another thing, I'm currently studying for my Part 107 um, drone license pilot program, and I bought a drone because I want to be able to give you guys better footage. There's a drone in here. So check it out. That's a drone. It's a DJI Mini 4K. And I actually bought it because I've got a video idea. Right before I tear down the Mercedes, I'm going to take it to Johnson Valley since I'm so close by. I'm going to take it to Johnson Valley and try to do one of the hard trails out there. Probably not Chocolate Thunder. I might do one of the other trails in there. I don't know. Maybe I'll do Chocolate Thunder, even if I can't get through the gatekeeper. Maybe I'll do a little part of it, and then once I 4x4 conversion to it, then I'll do the whole trail or something. I do have 37-inch tires for it. The 37-inch tires that I had bought originally, well, my brother-in-law had given to me originally for the Mercedes Benz. I put them on the Ram, and then I found some online from a guy that was selling them, and I bought those for the Mercedes Benz. So now I have two sets of 37-inch tires. So I have been picking up pieces, and the thing though with me is I do work a full 70-hour work job during the week. I'm a truck driver, so minimum I'm doing like 65 hours a week, and then I do want to keep working out. I've lost so much weight doing jiu-jitsu, doing striking, and working out and stuff. I don't want to let go of that either. But I also understand that I want this YouTube thing to take off, and I want this TikTok thing to take off. By the way, if you're not following me on TikTok, follow my TikTok. I'm at like almost 2,000 followers on TikTok. I'm almost at 200 followers on YouTube, which is amazing to me. I always said, even if one person watches my YouTube, I will be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated of that. So thank you guys so much. But yeah, that's a couple of the things that you guys should expect. Like I said, I understand CVTs is the way to go, but also at the same time, I can't do it just yet. Like I said, the CVT, I needed the go-kart for Easter weekend, and Amazon was going to deliver that to me for cheap. Like I said, $30 and just some welding wire and some metal. That's cheap for me, instead of spending another $150 for another CVT clutch. And don't get me started how much the shop charged me. And at the end of the day, like I said, it was still shredding belts. It was still messed up. It was still doing the same exact thing. I don't even think they did anything to it. They probably just cleaned up the CVT clutch, threw it back on there. Um, Put a little bit of red grease in it, because it had a lot of that. It had a lot of red grease. But yeah, so that's the video for today, guys. I just really wanted to address all the comments and stuff, and I'm gonna say it again. I appreciate every single one of you guys that start following this channel. It doesn't take a lot to click on that subscription button, but it does mean a lot to me when you do it. It doesn't take a lot to like the video, comment on it, but every single time somebody does it, I greatly appreciate it. I love you guys so much for it. Like I said before, I want this channel to take off. I have a lot of ideas in my head that I want to do. So thank you guys so much. If you have stuck around for the whole video, the entirety of this video, I want you on the comment section to say rusted on there. Just the word rusted. We're going to be doing some rusted things out of here. Next week's video, we're either going to be doing, I don't know if I should tell that to you guys. So we're either going to be doing the video of me cutting up the Honda, or finalizing a video that I've been working on with the Mercedes, which is since the diesel prices gone. Oh man, I didn't even talk about that. The diesel prices went up so much. I'm making black diesel, DIY homemade diesel. So I hope that video goes good, and I hope it doesn't blow up my engine. I used to do it back in the day, but I'm doing it a little bit different this time. And I actually have a diesel injector tester. So I'm actually going to show you guys the spray pattern on black diesel versus regular diesel. So I hope you guys enjoy that video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.